Here we go, building a Holz Hausen. So the idea here is that all of the wood is angled inward a little bit. And what this will do is it will force the pile to fall towards itself, so they'll all bind up on each other. And this way you can make a very stable, very useful footprint, meaning it will use up a ton of wood for a very small space. Because with a traditional stack, if you're building it in a long line, you need a lot of space to do that. And you also have a relatively unstable pile. So as the wood dries, it'll shrink a little bit, and those will often fall over. So with this, it should just keep binding on itself. The way you normally do this is you also put any discarded pieces that are awkward sizes in the center, and then they're all pushing up against that. I think I'm going to keep this a little bit of a shorter wall and build it more like a little fort. So in between the tall Holzhausen in the back I've got and this cedar tree here, there's a little path to go in there. So I don't know how much higher I'm going to build this wall. Probably have it so it's, I don't know, 3-ish feet, something like that. And then it'll provide a little bit of a barrier. It's a pretty good space. This is about 12 feet in outer diameter. Ends up being around 9.5 in inner diameter if the pieces on average are around 18 inches. And so this gives us a pretty good space to play with. Actually, strike that. It's closer to 8 feet inner diameter because you've got the distance of the wood on both sides. So anyways, you want to make sure that you've got that inward slope, and the easiest way to do that is at the beginning I put down one layer of wood perpendicular to this to kind of mark the circle, as well as make it so that all of the wood that gets stacked on top already starts off leaning a little bit. And you don't need to level the ground all that much, because honestly, as you're building this, you're going to kind of self-level as you go. So some of the walls may start a little higher, but you're going to make them all around the same height just by putting different pieces of wood down on there. And the bigger the circle you make, the easier it is to actually build these, because if you're thinking about it, you've got a whole bunch of pieces of wood that are relatively square. They were likely cut with a chainsaw, so they've got one flat side and then split into pieces from those rounds. And each one of those pieces then still has that flat side, so having all those flat sides out, the closer to flat the circle is, meaning the bigger the diameter, the easier it is to get those pieces of wood to sit square with that. And this will let you build easier. The one behind me that was a tighter circle, that was much harder to build because it was each piece of wood wasn't going to be able to be as close to square with that circle. So anyways, I find these to be kind of cool looking and fun to build. And then they're stable. If anyone's had to pick up a wood pile that's fallen over and rebuild it, it's never fun. So this is a great way to do it.